over Curtis. I'm over Curtis.
I know. And
because the only reason he's kissing up to Jay-Z right now, trying to manipulate the circumstances of what's supposed to happen at the Super Bowl.
Jaguar Wright was calling out R. Kelly long before he went down. She was talking about Diddy before the feds ever showed up at his homes. And now she's aiming straight at 50 Cent. Meanwhile, Diddy is already sitting in federal prison after being convicted in July of 2025 on 2 Mann Act counts and getting a 50-month sentence. That part is real. Music, the conviction happened, the sentence happened. And Wright isn't watering down her words at all. Music, she looks into the camera and says 50 Cent is not straight, and that he's hiding the same kind of lifestyle he spent years music, clowning other men for. No careful wording, no allegedly, just you know it, I know it. So now people are wondering whether Jaguar Wright is completely off base music, or whether she spotted something early again. I'm not poking a bear. I'm saying that he's a stone, and I've spoken to 2 men he's lived in sales with. Who you had with, CURTIS. Chump, no, I'm not saying allegedly. You have and you know it. And honestly, that's the part that gets people's attention. Wright has a history of saying things long before the public catches up. She was talking about R. Kelly while the industry was still booking him for arena shows. She talked about Diddy back when people dismissed her as a bitter former neo-soul singer. Music, then Kelly ended up in prison, then Diddy did too. That doesn't mean she caused any of it. She didn't file charges or launch investigations. But she was saying these things before the lawsuits piled up, before the hotel footage surfaced, before federal prosecutors got involved. That doesn't automatically make her right about everything either. Still, when somebody keeps speaking early and later events start lining up with what they were saying, people, music, notice. Now look at what actually happened with Diddy. This isn't random internet gossip. A federal jury heard testimony, reviewed evidence, music, and convicted him of transporting people across state lines for prohibited purposes. Judge Annalisa Supermani directly told him, music, you abuse the power and control with women you profess to love. Those were the judge's words in court. And that matters because it keeps the conversation tied to something concrete instead of pure speculation. The legal side also isn't over yet. Diddy appealed, and Second Circuit judges later described the case as exceptionally difficult, though they still haven't ruled. On top of that, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department opened a new investigation after he was already behind bars. Then there's the Jay-Z lawsuit filed in December of 2024, where a woman claimed she was 13 years old when 2 moguls assaulted her. Interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it music will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence, but so none of this is really cooled off. If anything, the attention around it keeps growing. Every headline tied to Diddy's appeal, every new accusation, every fresh investigation pulls those old claims back into the spotlight. And that's music, where 50 Cent suddenly ends up right in the middle of the conversation. Because through all of this, he hasn't really responded to Jaguar Wright's accusation. No denial, music, no lawsuit, no Instagram rant, nothing. And that stands out because this is 50 Cent we're talking about. The same guy who trolls Jay-Z with AI videos of him being dragged off in handcuffs. The same guy who built a second career out of being loud online and turning other people's scandals into entertainment. Music, but once Wright started talking about him directly, everything suddenly got very quiet. And that silence feels unusual, because 50 normally has something to say about everything. Music, when the Jane Doe lawsuit involving Jay-Z surfaced, he almost immediately posted an AI-generated video showing Jay and Diddy getting arrested together. The caption joked, music, I want to post this, but I'm afraid I'm going to get shot. LOL, when Diddy got transferred to Fort Dix, 50 kept music going. He even produced the 4-part Netflix docuseries Sean Combs. The Reckoning, which dropped on December 2nd, 2025, and he made sure people knew it was his project. so it's hard to believe he suddenly became worried about backlash or lawyers. But once Jaguar Wright started claiming he was hiding his identity, the usual jokes and trolling stopped. There's a lot of people 50 I feel like you don't have to say nothing, but 50's crazy. He's been like this his whole life. When he's on the block, oh, 50's coming. And there's a lot on the line for him now. 50 Cent isn't just a rapper anymore. He's a media figure, a producer, somebody with major deals and influence. Music, a big part of his public image, is built around exposing people, putting their business out there, and being the guy willing to say what other people won't. Music, he turned Diddy into a recurring target. He mocked Jay-Z relentlessly. He used their legal problems as content. Music, what makes all of this awkward is that the same kind of scrutiny he aimed at other people is now being aimed back at him. The clips, music, the rumors, the old comments, the audience connects dots online. It's the same kind of attention he spent years helping create around other celebrities. Music, and Jaguar Wright isn't the only person people bring up when this topic comes around. There's that old Vivica Fox interview. She dated 50 Cent years ago, and when a host mentioned him blaming falling TV ratings on G stuff, she laughed and said, "Pot calling the black." That clip has been floating around for years because people took it as her hinting at the same thing Wright is saying now. Music, then there were the old spider lock comments, the Smurf stories, and all the rumors that never fully went away. None of those music things prove anything by themselves. But when the same kind of speculation keeps popping up from different people over a long stretch of time, people start looking at it differently than they would one random accusation. Then there's Gene Deal, Music, Diddy's former bodyguard, who told a story people still bring up online. He said he once went with Diddy to an exotic bookstore where Diddy was filling up a brown paper bag with items off the shelves. Later, Deal said he realized what kind of material Diddy had been buying. He also described an incident involving a hotel room where Diddy and a famous male artist allegedly ran out naked, while the artist's cousin tried to get inside. Music, Deal never identified the artist, and he's refused to name him for years. But online speculation quickly started circling around 50 Cent. Music, to be clear, Deal himself never confirmed it was 50, and nobody has proven it was him. Music, still, people keep circling back to the same name, and that keeps the rumors alive. I was locked up with one of Diddy's security guards, Big Bounds. Music, what? That was Diddy, like, man, that was my man. That's my man till this day. Name Bounds. That's my dude. And when you go back and listen to some of 50 Cent's own stories about Diddy, they land a little differently now. For years, Music 50 made jokes about Diddy's personal life. He posted memes, called him names, kept the whole thing going publicly. But Diddy once responded on camera by saying, "He Music loves me." You can't see that he loves me. That's a strange thing to say about somebody who publicly acts like he can't stand you. Music, then there's the story 50 told about Diddy offering to take him shopping early in his career. 50 said it felt weird to him, that the energy made him uncomfortable, and that he wanted to get away from the situation. Looking back, people hear those stories differently now than they did at the time. Legally, though, none of this is getting wrapped up anytime soon. Diddy's appeal could change his sentence, or even send parts of the case back for resentencing. The Los Angeles investigation could lead to additional charges. The Jay-Z lawsuit is still moving through the courts, with Jane Doe's identity sealed while Jay-Z fights Music to have it revealed publicly. None of that directly puts 50 Cent in legal trouble, but it does keep the spotlight on the industry and on powerful people connected to these stories. And every new headline reminds people that major celebrities can still end up facing serious consequences. Music, that's part of why Jaguar Wright's comments keep coming back into the conversation instead of fading away. Which brings everything back to the silence again. Because if 50 Cent thought Jaguar Wright was completely ridiculous, most people assume he would have turned her into content by now. Music, he's done it to plenty of other people. He could have posted memes, mocked her, called her irrelevant, whatever he wanted. Instead, Music, he said nothing. And when somebody known for non-stop trolling suddenly stops talking about one specific accusation, people notice. Music, silence by itself isn't proof of anything, and it's definitely not a confession. But for a guy who usually treats controversy like entertainment, the silence stands out. Snorts, I know me and Curtis got issues. What's up with that? Come on, you ain't Curtis. Curtis says he got you. You know, me and Curtis got issues. Ain't got no issues, he got Shreveport acting a fool, but I ain't going to put you in that fool. Shreveport doing what? Acting a music fool. I can't know nothing about that. I'm trying to be the actor and trying to get a job. What? And guess what? I'm going to tell you something right now. Millennium Studio.